All right, here we go, Nick. Hey, you know what I was hoping you were going to come into the show doing? You know what I would have done? You need to go find some pie.
Let's chill out here, Trace. I mean, the second you say that. Oh, I have like nothing ready to go here. I thought I had a half inning. Thanks, Jake. Jake Fraley just ruining my year. I'm joking.
All right, listen. It's a fresh inning. Let's find a way. Come on. Well, I'll just save it. I'll save it.
And it's a tie game.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
All right, we need to get synced up.
Yeah. I got to get this on Twitter. I'm going to pause it when he touches home.
Yeah, he's running around
home.
third. Coming. He's getting ready to touch home now.
All right. Lord have mercy. Cal Raleigh is a hell of a player.
Rose Arena. Listen, the closer's going to blow. It's going to happen. It's going to happen a few times a year. Clearly, every single time it happens, it doesn't feel great because you're trying to win the game when they're in. So, it's just part of it. If there's a way, though, where we can possibly let's just get out of this inning right here. I like the fact that we got a chance. We got nothing to lose if we can get to the bottom of the ninth, tie game. Come on. You got to lift your spirits. All right? We got a home run from Jake Fraley. So, it was only so, I guess, reasonable that now Seattle then gets some miracle. They hit back-to-back homers. We just need to get out of here. Come on.
It never fails, like Trace. So I was like, obviously I wasn't loving the game, but I was like, I feel like the best I've felt all year about being prepared.
Yeah.
To do the show. Now you're not. And now it's just pure chaos.
All right, we got 2 outs. 2-away, guys. Come on, chat. Come on. Come on. This still gonna win this game. Come on, Pagan. Good pitch. Justin Edgel. Reds fandom is an absolute. I said absolute. It's abusive relationship. Reds fandom is an abusive relationship. Yeah, it is. It's not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart. Come on, guys. Just get in and get out, Come on, Emilio. One more good pitch, buddy. One more good pitch, Nick.
There it is.
There it is. Right. There it is. 13
right,
pitches.
Where we at?
If you'd have told me that
Elly?
You'd have told me that Emilio, you'd have told me that Emilio had a 13-pitch inning. I felt really good about it. Yeah. Also, there's times where, like, he didn't hurt himself. Like, guys hit home runs right there. Like, he didn't walk the bases loaded. He didn't, he forced them to hit the ball, and they hit it. To be fair, they hit it far.
In one of them, Cal Raleigh, like I said, one of the most underrated players probably in the sport. I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, look, I would much rather get beat giving up 2 solo home runs, up 2 runs, than get beat on an Alexis Diaz special. And I'm not even an Alexis Diaz hater, but
right. Well, I'm not. I wasn't even bringing up Alexis Diaz per se. I was just saying in general. The worst thing you can do when you got a 2-run lead is come in and walk a bunch of guys. Yeah, he didn't do that.
You're right, 100%.
So here we are. Got a chance to win this thing in the bottom of the 9th, and that's all that matters.
We need likes. We need likes, right?
Yeah, we need likes. We need all the help we can get, no matter what. Seems like a long game, no? It feels like this feels like
it's
a long.
It's a very long game. I mean, I scheduled for 3:10.
Yeah,
that's what
feels like a long baseball game. I have things I'm supposed to go and do after this, and I just wasn't. This was they've got to find a way to win. Win, none of it matters.
Yep.
Yeah. Win, none of it matters. Listen, if we can find a way on base here with Elly, okay, we're stealing bags, and I'm not saying I don't care what happens on the base pass at all. Obviously, I want him to be safe, but come on, let's get back to that aggressive Elly. Let's steal some bags.
I like it.
Of course, if he hits one over the wall, that'd be great too.
All right, Elly. Casey Legumina.
Yep. Old Legumina back in town. I never disliked Legumina. I always thought he had a chance to have some decent stuff. Just could never put it together.
That guy got sent up and down so many times, too. He never really was able to get in a rhythm either.
Yeah. Come on, Elly. What's he looking for? Like, what's the approach, Nick? Because it feels like we're just guessing. Like, just see it and hit it, brother. 95 mile an hour in the middle.
If he strikes out here, it's going to be like the most criticized 2-hit day in the history of baseball. Yep.
There it is. Yep. It's like I'm not trying to like overanalyze this because he got on base twice today. He got 2 hits. It's just like someone's gotten his ear or something has happened to where now it's supposed like he just is very passive to me at times.
Yeah, he's caught in between. Like, it feels like that on the base pass too. Oh my god.
No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Too far on the inside of the handle there. Yeah, a little bit. I agree. I agree. I mean, maybe again, as I've said before, I do think that the stolen bases and all that will kind of come to a slow decline as he ages. But I mean, this is 1 year later here. Still pretty young kid. Well, Noelve Marte hits one out of here. We'd have one hell of a day. Jake Fraley and Marte being the heroes. Come on, Marte.
I mean, Marte does hit AAA pitching. That was too easy. Sorry, Casey. That was disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. That guy's fired up about a baseball. He's taking a picture of it.
Yeah. Love it.
How do you get a bat on that?
It'd be nice, like, if Bally could, like, just put, like, what Marte's, like, 1 for 6 instead of, like, his whole stat line like he's been playing all year.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to your point. I think it would be more informational if you almost used wouldn't work well for Noelve, but even the rest of the guys. Like, I even think it would be cool if you went back like a calendar year until maybe call it like a month and a half into the season. If you use their last year's stats and you could put like last 90 games or something like that, I feel like that would be a little more appropriate. That's
it's almost
down.
like
Good
it's almost
call.
like when you watch postseason baseball, and like there's players I don't really know a ton about, and you see their postseason stats put up there, and it's like, that tells me nothing if this guy's a good player or not. Like, especially if you're a casual fan watching.
Exactly. No, I couldn't agree more.
I don't care what their postseason stats are. I mean, like, occasionally it's like nice to know this guy's doing this, but
safe. Oh, what was that throw, by the way? With all due respect, of course. Oh, it was so close. I don't think he was safe, was he?
They're not reviewing. They just said.
Feels like he is out. Okay. All right, listen. Strand the runner at second. That's what this is all about now. Strand him at second. We got to do some foreshadowing. I need to, now that I can't get ruined by game day, I need to start looking at the game day.
All right, we're midseason form. We went to the 10th. I put the runner on second base on the scorebook.
Good job,
changed the inning.
Really nice. Good work.
We might have finally got there, folks.
Yeah, good job.
It takes me about like 10 games to kind of get in midseason form.
All right, we got Candelario, Dunn, and Fraley due up with Noelve running. That should be good for the Reds considering they pinch ran Noelve Marte the other day.
We're in a good spot on the other side. I mean, knock on wood.
Yeah, you never know. I wasn't going to say that, but you did.
They are. Well, the first guy's a big contact hitter, though, so maybe not as. This might be the best spot possible for him. Ashcraft coming in, Trace.
That seems right.
Yeah, seems like
seems right.
Mastroboni, Crawford, and Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
They did take Polanco out of the game. Who was their DH, who has been off to an incredible start this season, their best hitter so far this year.
Yeah. Over 1,000 OPS.
Yeah, and then Mitch Garver, who's their backup catcher, was really struggling. So, be interesting. I mean, Julio Rodriguez has really struggled too this year, but it'd be interesting if you get into a spot, do you walk Rodriguez? I would, if you get 2 outs, Well, you have to throw strikes to Garver because you have Cal Rowley on deck, who you certainly don't want to see.
I definitely think that you try to put the double play in order if you can get the first out with the guy without the guy moving from second base. Unless you have a spot where there's clearly a better hitter on the backside of that.
Well, no, the 9 hitters do up second. So
okay. Well,
we're at 8-9-1.
Hold on. Okay, Crawford's hitting that. Yeah, so you can't do that. But you could walk Rodriguez if you wanted to. Let's not even worry about it. Let's just strike everybody out. Oh, we're butting guys over. Just take the out. Take the out.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the bunt. The bunt crowd is laughing right now, by the way. Sometimes
I think he's a good bunter, though. I mean, you have to remember, you have to have the right person up there, too. Like, all right, well.
Just rebound. Listen, you can't treat that guy at third base like he's I mean, he's a run, but let's focus on making sure the guy at first doesn't score. The infield's not in, right? There's no way. Oh, up. What a terrible attempt that was. All right, I got to get rid of the game day on my screen. It's going to ruin the fun. That was a bunt for a hit, right? Or that wasn't a squeeze, was it?
I think that would have been a safety squeeze. Would have been probably the proper.
Yeah, that's fair. I just didn't think
terminology. I don't think it was like a squeeze all the way.
Good pitch.
All right.
Pitch.
And he fouled it off his foot too. Looks like Ashcraft just got a nice little trim.
Yeah, he did.
Looking fresh.
I need him to get a strikeout right here in the biggest.
Look good. Look good. Pitch good.
Just can't field good. Please. Does this guy swing and miss at all? You don't need to look it up.
He's
if you don't
having
know
a rough
top
year.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Don't worry about it. I don't want you to get something ruined by looking up the.
I didn't have to write a preview for this series, so I don't know as much. I'll know everything about the Orioles by the time we get to tomorrow night.
Please. Yeah, that's a hit. That's a hit.
Oh man. He's striking out in 21% of his plate appearances, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I'll tell you right now.
if you can get out of it,
just put the ball in play, man. Good things happen. That's quite literally what's going on here.
I'm no longer in midseason form because I forgot to move the runners after that.
Listen, we're not dead here. We need to find a way to get a double play. Strikeout, double play. Or double play here would work as well. I don't love who we have coming to the plate, if we're being honest. But
I don't love a guy that's clearly due.
yeah, he's due. I'm talking about our offensive side of the ball.
No.
But right in front of you. No, Trevino. Foul ball? Did he call that a foul ball? He called it a foul ball?
Wasn't that 0-1?
That's 0-2
crazy?
now.
It doesn't matter if you call it a foul ball, right? It was 0-1.
No, it didn't matter. I was worried about the runners advancing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were they taken off?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they called a foul ball.
Okay.
I mean, if they didn't, they're idiots. I mean, the ball was basically behind the umpire's feet.
That was a good pitch.
It's a good pitch. That's a pitch we're looking for. I don't know if he can execute it, but a fastball up and in would be perfect. Unhittable up and in, like above the zone. Above the zone. Double play? Double play? Double play? Oh, my God, he's fast.
Yeah. Center fielder.
I'm just saying he's fast.
The Reds are the only one.
Is that
the only team that have a 40th percentile sprint speed center fielder.
Is that what happens when Blake Dunn hits a ground ball against other teams they don't know? They're like, oh, double play, and then he's not double play.
That bearded guy got down the line that fast.
Yeah, exactly. All right, not dead here. Need a strikeout though at some point, man.
Well, you need a double. This would be the double play spot.
Either one, I don't care.
Slower runner.
This
is the one. I would really like to not face Cal Raleigh.
Please double play. I'll take a strikeout too. Pop out, strikeout, pop out, short fly ball. What are we doing? It's absolutely gross. The defensive effort today is just it's been bad, man. It's
left a little to be desired.
It's been bad. Yeah, story of the game. Mariners really haven't been great either, if I'm being honest. I mean, they've walked 1 million people.
It's been a sloppy getaway game.
Is Trevino going to snap down to third base right here? Snap throw to third base on this steal? I don't think they're going to be able to throw him out. Ashcraft's too long to the plate. Definitely not going to be able to do it on a pitch like that. Just walk him.
This is their worst hitter, though. I mean,
it's 3-1, man. All right. All he's got to do is hit a fly ball.
Guy's hitting a $148 with a 451 OPS, man. Right on right.
He ain't hitting a $148.
Rally in a Rosarina on deck.
We're about to find out. He'll walk him.
Doesn't matter. We're out of lefties, right?
I just want to remind everybody, it feels like it's 11-7. The only person that has scored in this inning is the Manfred man. We are one pitch away from being out of this.
Yep.
One pitch away from being completely out of it, too.
Yeah. Derek Johnson always looks so serious when he comes out.
Definitely. He's a serious kind of guy. I will say I do appreciate the Kroger patches on our uniforms much more than I did when we first started this endeavor, and the fact that the Mariners have like what seems like a Nintendo Switch billboard all in red on the front of their jerseys. Shout out to Nintendo for negotiating that, by the way.
Yeah, we need to find whoever did that for some of our deals.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that thing's like the size of the whole entire sleeve.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's all red. All right, here we go.
It's so noticeable, Trace, that my wife, who certainly doesn't watch every Reds pitch, she said they're making a Nintendo Switch 2, so it was that effective.
Yeah, it worked. Good.
Well, there you go.
Good. Once you think about that pitch and how tough it is to hit. There we go. Yank it foul. Hit it harder foul. I don't know if Ashcraft has the command, but he definitely can throw a fastball like inside corner right here, and I actually think that Riley's going to think that it's a cutter, and he might get lucky and just freeze him. But that would require him to actually hit his spot perfectly, not to leave a fastball over the middle of the plate.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Rosarina.
Come on. Come on, chat.
Likes.
One more. Let's find a way here. Man, he did not like that pitch, dude. Come on, Ashcraft. One time, buddy. One time. Play some good defense, too. He's not even thinking about swinging. He's going to be thinking about swinging right here. Remember when Rosarina did this like the other day, or last year he did this for 3 straight pitches, and then on the third 3-0 pitch he hit a bomb? Yep. I need a strike, Nick. I need a strike. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll take it.
Come on. Inside. Who's playing third, Candelario? Without looking.
Marte.
Oh, Marte, yeah. I didn't know if they switched. Come on. One pitch, Ashcraft. Let's go. Make it. Make it. Yes, sir. Oh, no. Trevino kind of didn't catch that gracefully either. Make a play, Elly. Nope.
All right, let's look at it. It was a strike. It was a freaking strike. I mean, it wasn't even like half the ball is in the zone. Jesus, man. It's a strike. It was a strike, Trace.
Do your job!
It's bullshit. Made a great pitch, man. Great pitch.
Anybody catch the ball? I mean, I'm serious. Can anybody catch it? Anybody? I mean, Elly boots it. Candelario can't catch it. Can't catch it. All right. I don't know. Nobody did their job. Nobody did their job well in that entire 2 innings of baseball we just watched.
Yeah. I mean, the Reds have played a sloppy game. Like, you can't sit here and act like they deserve to win. But
yeah,
but the umpire needs. It's a strike, and it should be an 8-7 game, and you should have a chance in the bottom of the 10th.
You're right.
That's terrible. It's inexcusable that in 2025 we have to have games that get swung that big because they can't use the goddamn ABS system.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Listen, there's a lot to talk about. Problem is, I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk about it. What are you doing, Candy? I mean, with all due respect, I mean, I'm a little hot right now, but you're swinging at a slider at your foot, and you're down by 4. First pitch of the at bat. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Get him out of here. Honest to God. You guys want to get pissed off at Elly? That's fine. You get pissed off at Elly, tell him he sucks. Yeah, he's 23, whatever, however old he is. Tell him he's terrible. That's fine. We're paying a guy $20+ million a year to be a certified bum, and nobody wants to talk about how piss poor he is. He's swinging at 2 balls that aren't even remotely close to the zone when you're down by 4 runs. We need base runners. Golly, he's terrible. He's terrible. He is terrible. I'll say it again. He's terrible. I mean, honestly, how is this possible? I hope he's okay. I don't mean to scream and yell when this guy's, hurt. 0 for 3. He's 0 for 3. And you know what he did last at bat that really pissed me off too with Candelario? Is the guy threw 2 balls inside, and Candelario had the audacity to look at him like he was trying to hit him. Hello, you dumbass! You hadn't got a hit in 2 months. No one's trying to hit you. No one's trying to hit you. I can promise you. They're trying to throw the ball over the plate. Just be happy they're not throwing strikes and go down to first base. Oh, just the mere fact that he's even considering hitting a pitch that is bouncing at 54 feet tells you everything you need to know about this man. Yeah. Damn it. I can't. I got a lot of jokes. I'm not saying none of them. Just throw a slider in the dirt, dude. Not a fastball. You don't need a fastball. You need to throw a slider.
Good take.
It was a good take because he didn't realize the ball was in the catcher's mitt.
He could hear you screaming from Hamilton.
He probably could have. I'm so sick and tired of watching this dude. He's terrible. He is absolute hot ass trash. This is going to be a 20-minute show.
You want to talk logistically here? I'll do like a 30-second. We'll no intro. We'll do a 30-second box score recap. DSC, go through the show. Are you able to leave things up on VMix? I can do MILB and up next, and then I can.
I just have a hard out at like 4:40, which should have never even been a remote question today.
Okay.
So
we'll do
it that way. That's
hustle through that, and then just so we know when we get to the end, are you able to leave it up on your end, and I can just end it inside of YouTube Studio?
You could do that, yeah.
And that way I can just end the show,
yeah,
and do MILB and up next, and you don't have to even worry about that. So
you don't think I'm going to need to dunk a basketball?
I'm not feeling very confident in that right now.
We had such an opportunity today to steal a game that we should have never really won because we just didn't play well enough to win. And you get a huge hit. You get a massive hit. And you know what? I want to get this. Jake Fraley's on the rundown. I'm glad he's on the rundown. In case I don't get to him, I just want to say Jake Fraley, as much as he's played terribly, he had a moment today in a game today that single-handedly could have helped the Reds win a game where that doesn't happen all that often. And it just didn't come to be because the Reds, weren't able to close it down. And the other thing that sucks, too, is I think Elly deserves criticism, no doubt about it. But it's also like if other people would have done their job successfully, we wouldn't even be talking about this Elly error at all because it would have never existed. First of all, Emilio Pagan needs to close the door down. It didn't happen. I give him a pass a little bit, though, because ultimately closers are going to blow a save or two every so often. It's part of it. He didn't really walk anybody. Guys hit. They hit the ball over the fence, point blank. And then, just you can't field a bunt. And then on top of that, you get a strike 3 call that should have been strike 3, and it doesn't work out because the umpire just can't figure it out. So, all right, Nick, here's how we're going to do this one. You ready? All right, difficult day here. And what is Chatterbox Reds? I'm trying to compose myself. I lost my wits about me, as they say. I do that from time to time. I'm trying to really collectively put together some thoughts that I think are relatively meaningful that might be some semblance of worthwhile information on this show. But this is the part of all of it, Nick. Like, we're fans. We care about the outcome. We want the outcome to go the Reds' way. It didn't go the Reds' way, and it certainly felt like we were going to get a major win today. And now the Reds fall 0-3 in rubber games, and they were also 9-20 last year, so they're now 9-23 in their last whatever that would be 30 odd rubber games, which is just not very good.
Yeah, just a pretty brutal loss today. It felt like you were going to lose, felt like you were going to win, felt like you were going to lose, felt like you were going to win, and I don't know, 9-10, and it's just such a weird 9-10. I don't know how to feel about this team. I got to be just honest with you. I don't know how to feel at all about this team because there's so many things that you like, the pitching first and foremost, but there's so many things that are just, I don't know, just pretty ugly right now.
Yeah, let's run through it. I know it's probably difficult for you on the fly here to kind of recap the whole entire thing, probably from a time's sake, maybe not the best. If you are one that likes to have things exactly the way that they are planned, I would suggest probably listen to this podcast tomorrow morning to get a kind of good recap, perhaps, of how this whole thing went. But nonetheless,
can you start off with the
I got the deep drive of the day. Sure, yeah. Listen, the deep drive of the day we have on here, he has Austin Hayes. Austin Hayes was probably on here because that's what Nick had put in midway through this game before he had to rush to try to get everything set up. The deep drive obviously was Jake Fraley. We'll give Jake Fraley a shout out again, but before we do this, for the way that it went, the deep drive of the day came off the bat of Austin Hayes. It was a 2-run shot. That would give the Reds a 2-0 lead right off the bat. You started feeling good about yourself, thinking that this is the way you need to start. Against a guy that has a very high ERA. I think it was 81 coming into the game. You jump out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning, and you're feeling good about yourself. So just didn't work out. 103 off the bat, 388 feet. Win probability at the time was Reds 71%. As we all know, it would be 0% by the end of it. DSC, though, they are a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. Box score recap, Nick.
All right, we'll do a quick one. You'll have a nice, clean one on the podcast tomorrow. Reds got off to a good start. Austin Hayes smoked a 2-run home run in the first inning to put the Reds up 2-0. But then just a lot of sloppy baseball in the field in the fifth put the Mariners up 4-2. The Reds got a run back. They I need to pull the other thing here. The Reds got a run back in the seventh to make it a 4-3 game. And then with the Reds trailing 5-3 in the eighth, Jake Fraley hit a grand slam to put the Reds up 7-5. But Emilio Pagan gave up 2 solo home runs in the ninth. More sloppy baseball, a brutal missed call by the umpire on what should have been strike 3 to get out of the inning. Put up 4 runs in the Mariners in the top of the 10th. Reds ultimately end up falling 11-7. Reds are now 9-10 on the season and 9-23 in rubber games since the start of 2024.
All right, a couple supers here real quick. Leave It at the Table says, if accountability is a real thing with this team, Elly will be given a day off tomorrow. Superstar or not, this stuff is unacceptable. Ami says, this team is better with Elly in center field and McClain at shortstop. Listen, I get it. Elly had a tough day. I'm not here to change anybody's minds. I'm not trying to posture. I'm not trying to sit here and act like my opinion's better than yours. My humble opinion is quite literally that it was just a bad game. He's going to be an excellent shortstop. He's shown that he's been a good shortstop last season. I suspect that he'll continue to grow and become better. And if you don't think he's a good shortstop, then obviously my guess is you don't see a lot of other shortstops in the league play either, because a lot of metrics point to Elly being pretty damn good shortstop. I think McClain's a great shortstop too. Don't get me wrong. I do. I mean, he played excellent when he was there, but I also think that McClain's versatility in allowing him to play an unbelievably good second base, an excellent second base, it gives the Reds their best chance to have a solid defense when those two are in the middle of the infield. And if you disagree with that, I understand. I'm not here to change your mind. It's just, it was a bad game. I'd also say that it was a bad game where Elly had 2 strikeouts in some moments that probably mean the most, but he also got on base 3 times in this game. There's a lot of other guys on this team right now. If they got on base 3 times, we would have them on the rundown, and we would be talking about how great of a day they had. And Elly carries a bigger weight on his shoulders or a higher expectation. I understand that. He gets hyped up. He's on the cover of MLB The Show. He's supposed to be the Reds' best player. That comes with the territory. He's not gotten paid yet to be a superstar, and heaven forbid if he had gotten paid by now, then it would be all, hell's breaking loose. Well, the guys that we paid, they're not footing the bill either, just being honest. Candelario and a little bit of Nick Martinez so far as they've not played well, but they receive a dwarf of the criticism that a young player is getting in this town. And I get it. I get why. Not defending him. But I'm just openly telling you, straight to everyone's face, if Elly De La Cruz isn't on this team has 0 chance. 0 chance. I'll say it again. If Elly De La Cruz isn't on this team has 0 chance and quite literally has 0 reason to tune in from a national perspective. They have 0 interest level. Now, I'm not saying that you should, praise him for just that. But before we just go and kill a kid in this town, let's just think about who we're killing and who's actually costing this team an opportunity to win games on a nightly basis. And I'm not here to try to say that he's played the best, but he got on base 3 times in this game. That's here nor there, I guess. People probably don't care. It was a roller coaster game. It was a tough game to watch, Nick. Just terrible plays defensively everywhere, if we're being honest.
Yeah, it was an ugly game with a lot of really great moments for the Reds, too, which is, I guess, what makes it kind of the hardest to swallow. Austin Hayes looks like an absolute stud coming back, hitting a big-time home run in the first inning against a bad pitcher, kind of really setting the tone. And then you just think, this game's going to get away from you. And then Jake Fraley has the biggest hit of the season, and it kind of just gets lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. Yeah, this team would be completely unwatchable without Elly De La Cruz. There would be no reason to watch the rest of the season. You might as well mail it in like you just said. But, yeah, he definitely needs to play better. He will play better. I remember a game last year where he had 3 errors against the Phillies where everyone lost their mind, and he finished 8th in the National League MVP voting. So, again, he's 23 years old. Barry Larkin had 1 million errors his first couple of years in the big leagues. That's something he will get better at. He's the Reds' best shortstop. And when you have Matt McLain at second base too, the combination of the two of them together in those spots over the course of 162 games will turn out to be really well, as long as Matt McLain can stay healthy.
Right.
So yeah, I get like the frustration, but I mean, if you want to sit him tomorrow, go for it. I mean, they're facing a lefty tomorrow, we think. The Orioles haven't officially announced, so it would be a great day to have some accountability, give him a day off against the lefty. But that would pretty much be the only reason I would be okay with it.
The other thing I want to add too, really quickly, the first error that he got, and I'm not trying to say I know better than everyone else, but I mean I played that position for a reasonably high level, and I was probably well known for being defensively. If I could hit, I would have probably played professional baseball. I do genuinely believe that, but I couldn't hit. That's kind of part of the game. That's not an easy play. Like that's just not an easy play. And if you want to get on him about the backhand that he missed, be my guest. That was a ball that he's got to make. But the first play where a guy kind of fists one and it lands halfway in the infield and it bounces and he's trying to figure out whether he goes and tries to pick it clean or back, I'm thinking to myself in that spot to backtrack a little bit here. Jake Fraley had an unbelievable home run, but he also had a bonehead mistake in that inning by trying to make a play at third base and basically allowed the guy to get to second base, which then put Elly in a position where he was at. So it was just a domino effect there. And Blake Dunn can't make a play down the line. And again, he doesn't play out there a ton. There's a wall right there. He probably was concerned about where that wall was. Not trying to make excuses for him, but he's a millimeter away from making that play. The biggest play of them all, that was probably the worst play of the day, nobody said it in the chat, nobody's complained about it, is Espinal deciding that he's just not even going to try to catch a pop-up when Austin Wynns is trying to run down the line with his back to him. It didn't hurt us, so no one wants to talk about it. And that's I get, when I do these shows, I get that's kind of part of it. It all depends on what the outcome is. It's not about actually whether or not you made the play or didn't make the play and how big of a mistake it was. It's that everybody forgot Jake Fraley decided to launch a ball to third base when he needs to keep the guy at first base, and everybody just decides they just want to bypass the whole Espinal situation because, I don't know, we got to fly out the next hitter, and it just didn't matter. So, listen, it's free pickings for me. I'll get on anybody. Candelario also, he catches that ball at first base that Elly bobbles on the backhand, and it's a bang-bang play. I'm not sure if he's out or not. They didn't show the replay, but he might be out. Wouldn't even have been an error. But nobody's talking about the fact that Candelario can't catch the ball at first base either. It's just Elly this, Elly that, Elly that. And I'm not trying to sit here and act like he didn't play poorly. He played poorly, to be clear. All right, jumping into a positive, Jake Fraley was a no-show for this season, complete no-show. Today, biggest game that he's had, obviously, in a really, really long time. It's finally nice to see him actually hit a ball hard. Well, it was at a major spot, but that's probably the best ball I've seen him hit since years, to be honest. Your thoughts?
I mean, he had actually two balls hit 107 miles an hour, the double and the home run. So, yeah, that's great to see. I mean, Jake Fraley has been about as bad as you possibly could have out of a corner outfielder. But he's shown some signs of life offensively. Certainly good to see him, hit a home run in this one. It was only a home run in 7 of 30 parks, so he gets a little bit of the Great American Ballpark boost. But hey, you play to the ballpark you play in. Yep. So shout out to Fraley. I mean, I need to see a lot more before I feel good about him being the starting right fielder for the Reds. But today was a very, very positive sign for him.
It's a bad day to try to be an Elly defender. I'm getting crushed in the chat, and that's fine. I'm not making excuses for Elly because of Jake Fraley, to be very clear for the folks in there that are trying to say that. I'm quite literally saying that there are things that happen in a baseball game that have domino effects on things that don't happen. If Emilio Pagan throws a shutout inning right there, we win, everybody's happy, we're talking about Jake Fraley. But since he didn't, we're going to talk about the error that Elly made in the extra innings and talk about the error that he made earlier in the game. And I'm mentioning that the error that he made in the middle of the game also, to be clear, was largely because he's playing a position out of position. He's playing up the middle because guys are on second and third when he should have been playing double play depth because the guy threw the ball to third base like an idiot. That's all I'm saying. But we don't want to bring up the other guys that make mistakes is all I'm trying to say. Like, there requires some baseball IQ here to kind of understand the dominoes that happen in a game. And I'm just trying to illustrate those the best that I can. I'm not trying to defend Elly. I, last year, said that this isn't the Dominican Winter League, and I was called every name under the book. So now all of a sudden, I'm Elly De La Cruz's biggest stan. It's kind of a wild scene. But here we are. All right, Game Time app. If you are in a spot where you're looking for tickets, doesn't seem like that's the case right now, perhaps at Great American Ballpark, because they're not going to be playing there. But maybe the next time they come around, you might be looking for some tickets. And if you are, use the code CBOX. That's CBOX. You can use $20 off your first purchase if you use that code. Terms do apply. Nick, it's the official ticketing partner of Chatterbox Reds, and it's also a very, very nice UI app. 2 clicks and you're out. Not a whole lot better than going down to the ball yard on a nice, beautiful summer day like it is today. Unfortunately, the Reds didn't win, but it is a beautiful day, even though it's not the summer yet, to be clear.
Today was so close. Today was so close to being one of those Reds games. If you were there in person, you probably never would have forgotten. Although you may never forget this one for a very different reason. But Trace, also love that Game Time, the best ticketing partner for last-minute tickets. I know people like myself always wait till the last minute to get tickets. Game Time is by far the best in that regard.
That's fair. 988 988 988 988. It's the suicide and crisis. Man, I can't even talk right now. I'm so beside myself. Suicide and crisis lifeline. Please text and or call any day, any night, anonymously. Go to mantherapy.org. I'm so mad that I can't quite literally see straight right now. It's okay to not be okay. I need to tell myself that. I guess we're all frustrated, and we're all frustrated largely because of accumulation thing. You know what this feels like? This feels like a huge argument with your significant other, your spouse. It feels like you're in a huge argument. You're arguing for an hour long, Nick. And you're arguing over something absurdly stupid. But what you're yelling about half the time right now isn't even really what you're totally mad about. You're just mad because you feel like you've seen the same thing over and over and over and over again, and nothing has changed. And that's kind of where we're at right now with this season. Fortunately, they're 8-9. I mean, fortunately, they're 8-9, right? Am I wrong on that? 8-10.
9-10.
9-10. I'm close. Whatever. Can't even keep up. We were 8-8. Anyways, I don't know. Whatever our record is. Can you clear chat? Please help me out. My brain's fried.
9-10. 9-10.
9-10. We're one game under 500. Thankfully, we're one game under 500, and the season's clearly not obviously over. 2 games. 9-10.
2 games out of first.
2 games out of first place. Okay. We're 2 games out of first place. What a stupid thing this is that we do. It's just frustrating because it's the same thing we've seen over and over again, man. It's sloppy defense. It's low baseball IQ. And we find ourselves in a position where the offense finally produces something, and we're incapable of closing it out. And Austin Hayes is a big part of this Reds resurgence of offense, if we're being honest, because without him, it does feel like there was a couple games here where we would have gone large stretches of a game without producing. And he had a good day. Hit a big home run. It's nice to see. Hopefully he can continue this and go back to some familiar territory here and keep tearing it up.
It's a hard game to recap because the Reds score 7 runs, but one of the biggest problems of the game is that after that Hayes home run, the offense was completely non-existent against a bad pitcher. But they scored 7 runs, so you don't feel as bad about the offense at the end of the game. Jake Fraley made a really bad play that led to a very costly run, but Jake Fraley makes up for it with the grand slam later in the game. And then, the bullpen, Pagan and Ashcraft give up runs. Yep. They've been, 2 of the most steady people all year. So it's kind of like one of these things like, right, where do you really go with a game like today? It sucks that you lost this game. There were so many things that went wrong, and there's so many things to legitimately be concerned about with this team. But I'm not sure the results of how you got to this 11-7 game today necessarily equate to anywhere close to my biggest concerns right now with this team.
When you play this game, it's a game of failure, right? Like you hear that 1,000 times when you play about how, you're meant to fail. Every single thing that you're doing outside of being a pitcher, you're more likely going to fail more times than not, especially as obviously a hitter, this offense specifically. The biggest frustration I have right now is that we have certain guys on this team that are providing us quite literally no value. No value. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better from him. And it seems to be that there's not really an answer to the test. And I don't know what's going to happen at first base, which I'm sure we'll get to in just a second. Let's jump into that first, then we can talk about Singer in the bullpen, because quite frankly, Singer, he threw the ball okay, kind of got high pitch count. The defense didn't help him out. I guess we'll do that first then. The defense didn't help him out. I don't have anything against Singer. It's nice. I guess it'd be nice if he was able to get deeper into the game, but at the same time, I can't blame him because he literally probably had to throw 25 to 30 extra pitches because the combination of Dunn, Elly, and or Espinal not catching a pop-up kind of did him in.
Yeah, it's ironic that Singer came in with averaging 10 runs of support, and then today the Reds put up 7, but they did nothing to help him out. Again, it's just one of these weird games to try to recap, because there's just so many dumb things that happened today. It's good to see Singer missing bats. He had 6 strikeouts, and what did he go? 5 in the third. He's missing bats a little bit more than I anticipated coming into the year. So that's maybe a sign that Singer can be a above average starter. I'm not going to say he's going to be great or a lead or anything. My expectation for Singer was to be an average starter, which I've talked many times is very valuable to a team like the Reds that needed that consistency. But the fact that he's missing bats, he might be able to be a little bit more than that. And the Reds right now need every little ounce of additional help they can get in the margin. So that maybe is my biggest takeaway on Singer right now that excites me about him moving forward.
Bullpen wasn't great today. I mean, it wasn't great today. It's as simple as that. Oddly enough, I guess Alexis Diaz was one of the few bright spots. Brent Suter came in, did a good job. Outside of that, maybe I'm missing somebody. Barlow, I think, had come in. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know how else to tell you. It's honestly the best thing to do is just move on, wake up tomorrow, see if you can't find a way to win a baseball game. Let's jump into the situation that is CES real quick. Comes out that he has some back situation. It's not a great sign considering, he's already kind of had extended periods where he's not been around. And then now you add on some kind of back flare situation. I'm not a back expert, but I do know that traditionally speaking, back is a pretty tough one to kind of get over if it's a nagging injury. It's kind of a part of the body, Nick, that you need to use a lot. I don't know what to make of it. I guess I'll wait and see. Marte obviously gets called up. Santiago Espinal is taking balls at first base. Maybe that's the reason why he was taking balls at first base yesterday, was because they already knew that CES was hurt. But then I guess my question would be, he played in the game. So
hit a double.
I don't know. This stuff makes no sense, but I'm here to try to explain it. Guess wait and see. He's out. CES is out.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, the Reds needed some higher ceiling guys offensively, because there's a lot of guys on this roster that their ceiling's not that high. Now, they could be, solid big league players, but their ceiling, you know at this point that there's not that guy that can hit 30 home runs. And CES was one of those guys, which is why I keep clamoring. I want to see someone called up from AAA that has a little bit more of that ceiling. But with Marte called up, I don't have an issue with calling up Marte, but he needs to be playing close to every day. I don't want him coming in up and playing sporadically. Now, today is a totally different story. I mean, he's coming, down from Columbus last minute. I totally fine with him not playing, but he needs to be in the lineup at least 4 or 5 times a week. He needs to be getting reps because, as I've said many times, I'm a big Marte believer long term. I'm not sure how much he can help the Reds in 2025, but you have to get this guy at bats. And I think there's some fair criticism with how the Reds handled Jose Barrero, kind of shuffling him up back and forth. Did they ruin Jose Barrero's career? I don't know. Probably not. We'll never know. But I don't think they did him any favors either. And I would like to give Marte every chance and every opportunity to develop.
It's more than fair. I feel like there's opportunity on this team right now based off what I've seen that I'd like to give it a shot for an extended period of time. The problem is we're paying a guy $20+ million a year, and he's giving us literally nothing, but you can't give up on him because you're paying him so much money. And whether you believe that or not, that's the truth, and that's what's going to happen. Candelario is going to have to be absolutely terrible for, I would even say, 2.5, maybe even 3 months into this season before the Reds really actually make a decision on whether or not he's going to play. They're going to give every chance for Candelario to prove that he is the guy that is on the back of his baseball card. But the concern that I have is that I've not seen that guy. I've seen him for a short stretch of time last year, then he got hurt. No guarantees when you come back from being injured that you're ever going to be the same player anyways. And so far, he looks clueless to me. And I know I'm being very harsh on Candelario, but at the same time, when you're this established as a big league hitter, there's no reason that you should look this disgusting at the plate. I mean, it looks like there's literally no approach. And yeah, like if you go back and you look at that last at bat that he just had, for example, you're down by 4 runs and you need to get base runners, and you are swinging at the first pitch of the at bat on a slider that lands 57 feet, and then you turn around and you do it again. And then you watch a fastball low, and then you swing at another one in the dirt. Like, have a plan, have a clue, meet the moment, understand what your role and responsibility is in that situation. Just get on base. Probably, if you're struggling, seeing a pitch or two is not a terrible thing or a terrible idea. And I guess that's where I get the most frustrated right now, is that guys that, we need to play better. We'll wait and see. Tyler Stevenson will be a welcomed addition to this team. Hopefully here in the near future, we'll see what that looks like. But Nick, it's a tough day of baseball to be a Reds fan. It's as simple as that. You go to bed, you wake up tomorrow, you feel a little bit better, you watch the game, you hope they play better, and you move on. Because this was disgusting. There's really no other way to say it. For a lot of things that went well for the team. So,
last thing I wanted to talk with you about real quick is Spencer Steer. The quote today was that Spencer Steer is close to being ready to play first base. The way that it was described was that it seems like that's the only position they're trying to get him ready for. I just don't understand why he would be playing first base. Like, I don't know how that really helps this roster right now.
I don't. I'm not going to try to explain it, Nick, because I feel like every time I get into the whole Steer, even Fraley up until today, so maybe I'll be proved wrong again, but it just sounds like I'm complaining. It sounds like I'm doing nothing but just I can't provide any rational reason as to why they're doing some of the things they're doing, so I just sit back and I guess I'll just wait and see. If a guy can't throw the ball very well or can't throw at all, they're going to try to stick him at first base because more times than not, like a la Scott Hatterberg back in the day, even if you don't have an arm, you can still maybe get away with playing first base. The problem I have is that, with all due respect, I've not seen the Spencer Steer at the plate even close to being the guy that we've seen him before. So I'm concerned that the shoulder is affecting him in some capacity at the plate. And if I'm wrong on that, that's fine. Maybe he'll get hot. But I don't think so. You don't see Spencer Steer when he's right swinging and missing on 94-mile-an-hour middle fastballs. And if I do have anything to say negative about Elly, I do wonder what his approach is right now at the plate, because it seems like he's taking fastballs that are just hittable pitches. And I don't know if he's sitting back waiting on a certain pitch. I don't know what the guessing. Listen, I'm not a hitting coach guy. I never have been, never will be probably. I don't know what Valleca's message is to the team, but if I had to talk with Elly, I'd say, Elly, you're an unbelievable athlete. Go grab that damn bat. You walk in the batter's box. You think that you're the world's best player because that's what he felt like when he came up to the big leagues, I must remind everybody. You think that you're that guy, then go be that guy. Step in the box, quit thinking about it. See the pitch, hit the pitch, run as fast as you can. Stop overanalyzing all this BS, trying to think about what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. Stop trying to be this guy that's supposed to, not swing at pitches out of the zone because your whiff percentage and or your Z chase rate percentage and all that other stuff. Stop overanalyzing this game and just go play. because it seems like Elly's found himself in a couple at-bats today where he's taking pitches that he just cannot take to be a good hitter. And I know, ultimately, maybe he's got something in his head where he thinks he needs to be passive in some regard. And I'm not trying to blame anyone. I'll say that's Elly's problem. But I'm hoping he gets that fixed soon.
We were talking about that while we were watching the end of the game, that it feels like maybe Elly's been given too much information, and not just at the plate, but also on the base paths. It feels like he's been a lot more aggressive. He's been kind of caught in between. He's clearly been caught in between on some pitches. And I mean, it's very possible a player like Elly De La Cruz, you can give too much information to, and sometimes you just need to let his raw talent take over. And I think it is possible. Again, I don't know what those conversations are, so I'm not going to sit up here and be like, this is exactly what they're doing wrong. We don't know that, but just trying to give an explanation of the way what we're seeing with Elly De La Cruz, it feels like there's definitely a possibility that they're feeding him too much information right now, and they just need to let Elly go be Elly.
Maybe so. Or Elly's just overthinking it himself. I don't know. I'm not trying to be clear, neither one of us are trying to blame anybody else for Elly's problems. Elly's a grown adult. He can figure it out himself. But he's the least of my worries, I guess, on a day like today. And I know that that's probably not a popular take. But I'm going to move forward. We'll wake up tomorrow. We'll see if the Reds can't find a way to win. Jumping into a couple things here, Nick. We do have who, what, when, and where. I mean, listen. We got to win a series at some point, Nick. Simple as that. We got to win a series at some point. So.
Yeah, we'll just real quickly run through Reds MILB, the only team in action. Louisville, they won 9-4 over Columbus. Benson on base 3 times, 2 for 4 with the walk. Avon Johnson continues to play well. He was on base 3 times. Reese Hines, 1 for 5 with a stolen base. Rest of your Reds MILB tonight. Chattanooga is at 7, Dayton is at 6:05, and Daytona at 6:35. There's a lot of really good minor league pitchers going tonight. For Chattanooga, Jose Acuna. For Dayton, 8th round pick last year, Luke Hayden. And then for Daytona, Ty Floyd getting the start. But the Reds will start a series against the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow on Friday night. Orioles play the Guardians at 6:35 tonight. They are 7-10 in last place in the AL East, coming off back-to-back playoff appearances, so they're coming in struggling. They have 6 pitchers on the IL. Only the Rockies have a worse starting pitching ERA. Good bullpen. They have a good lineup that's mostly healthy outside of Colin Cowser, but they haven't performed great so far this year. 16th overall in OPS. Tyler O'Neill day-to-day with neck soreness. And then tomorrow, not official, they have Cade Povich, a lefty, last pitched on Sunday. Good start to the year, 3.6 ERA, 14 Ks and 3 walks. Abbott in his career 1-1 with a 2.45 ERA against the O's. Adley Rutschman and Jorge Mateo have taken Abbott deep.
All right, we got a couple more supers here real quick before we run. Ame, am I saying that right? Ame says ump hose us 2 games in a row. Win robots. ABS will be next year, I believe. I really do think that. I could be wrong, but I think ABS will be next year. Gabe, what does this say? Galeb Bitcher, 99.1% says Elly De La Cruz, and Alex then chimes in with another super and said Elly was 4 outs above average as a shortstop with the most errors. RELAX, the old Aaron Rodgers line. Relax. So we'll see. Listen, I get people are frustrated with Elly. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and try to change anybody's mind. I would just say let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya together and say that the sun will come out tomorrow. The Reds are going to play baseball, and we're going to all watch, and hopefully they find a way to win, and we'll be in better spirits. Reds need to win a series. They need to win a series against a competent baseball team, not just the Pittsburgh Pirates, and hopefully they'll be able to do that starting tomorrow against the Baltimore Orioles. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sorry we had to kind of maybe make it semi-short. I don't know where we're at on a show like this, but an hour and 10-minute show, so I guess it's not overly short. But nonetheless, it felt painful at times. And I just want to say, 264 people in here. You guys are some OGs, man. This is a tough pill to swallow, to jump on a show after what we just watched and hang with us and talk through some things that we probably maybe don't agree on. I'll always be grateful for that, and I appreciate you hanging in there. And as always, go Reds. Otis chimes in last second, says, we will have 80 wins. We will have 80 wins and miss the playoffs. Otis, we need some sleep. You need some sleep, Otis. We all need some sleep. Let's all go. Let's all take a deep breather. We'll start this whole thing up again tomorrow, and we'll be back better than ever. As always, though, go Reds.